I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the ocean, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for war like I'm Russia, ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling, my neck and my belly, they calling for me and they, you want me like me and I look, yeah, her Rex on her, yeah, B-Rex better calm down, yeah, if you go around, come around, yeah, whole squad goes on me, yeah, make some orange gel on my toes, yeah, Farrakhan glass for the chosen, yeah, you can go and get mad, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you, my shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag, I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Oakland Raiders and the Philadelphia Eagles. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
And one of the things that I think that Derek Carr has really improved in doing since college, his ability to stay in the pocket, things swirling around him, find the right guy, and deliver the ball with accuracy. Derek Carr has great touch when he throws the football.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play that time for the Raiders. 62 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch, that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it's a second down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball to the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
And the shuffle pass to the running back goes for no yardage, but they used to call that the Utah pass, made famous by Coach Cactus Jack Curtis and his quarterback.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Marshawn Lynch taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And complete right side to Cook. And he is not going to make it. They stop him up short, and this will remain a 6-0 ball game. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. From the gun, it's Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. With action here with Nelson Aguilar. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And Jeffrey's got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit. Otherwise, you know what will happen? They'll flat out take over this game.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Wentz going to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz from 4 yards out. And the Eagles are now just an extra point away from grabbing the lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Elliott now to kick this one away. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Carr going to throw. Lets it go for Nelson. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Now Carr. He finds Lynch. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. Shotgun now for Carr. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll run it. Here's Lynch. Spinning away. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Here's Ajayi, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A first down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. To throw, it's Wentz. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
He's got his man. That's Wallace. 18 yards there and a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Timeout defense.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try to run with a J. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Working from the gun, Wentz. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Ooh, with a juke. Oh, now he bowls him over. He's got daylight. 30, 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. In for the score. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with a Ajayi. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. On the stop that time, Frosty Rucker.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Mario Edwards able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 16. Here's Carr. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Carr to throw. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. They run with a Johnny. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Holding, offense.
Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move him back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. On second down, here's Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to...
And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And he's going to let it go deep. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Now Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
This is Ajayi. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now, there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Offside. Defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Carr on the bootleg. Fights him off. Floating one, incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now Carr. It's caught. Nelson. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. He's going to float this over the middle deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. They give them a gain of 37. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet.
Oh, no, he lost the football. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Martavis Bryant, 33 yards. And the Raiders move back within a couple of the lead.
Big score, first step in their attempt to climb back into this game.
Yes, but still some work to do as they get within. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line is really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Now it's Ajayi. Had a good move, but only able to work it to the 20-yard line. Justin Ellis in on the stop. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold them to 3 to keep this a 1-score game. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. Fielded about a yard deep. And now running right through it. There goes Harris. The 30. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Dwayne Harris, 101 yards. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, Visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. And this is Hurts with it, right side. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now Wentz on 3rd down, and he's got it complete to Darren Sproles. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Shotgun now for Wentz. This one complete to Sproles. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Incomplete.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Khalil Mack in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Wentz now to throw. His throw incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Goes underneath for Sproles. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion and what you're counting on.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way. One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Raider first down as Carr finds Cooper.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. To throw is Carr. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. First target, first catch, and a first down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game. Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Marshawn Lynch, and it's third and short.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Carr now to throw. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. Giorgio Tavecchio now for the Raider field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is not going to be able to get away as they swarm him for a loss shy of the goal line. They pass up the 3, fake it, it doesn't work. Well, that was an intriguing call. You got a chip shot field goal. Tight game. Why not just take the 3?
I know that not all the old rules apply in today's NFL. And, in fact, I'd love to have an analytics coach here with us right now to say why that was probably a good play. I don't know that even the analytics coach would have said that. That seemed like a bad play. Take the points there and move on. And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third pressure, gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. so dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And this is caught. It's Cooper. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Carr to throw on 2nd down. And a little floater there is incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jordy Nelson from 8 yards out. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
Vecchio now to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, 39 yards. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was a prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. A beautiful fake. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Carr now on 1st down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Carr. Wide open, Amari Cooper. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. On first down, Carr finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Carr to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, 3rd down here. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Carr again, throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he had a nifty little deep juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. We have hit and now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now Wentz. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Sharice Wright could do no wrong there, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now Carr. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Oh, the spin. Lynch busting free. And now running right through it. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there, almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Carr. There he goes inside the 30. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. First down Raiders, the former Packer Jordy Nelson on the receiving end from Carr. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. That is caught at the 7. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, after watching that throw and catch on that corner route, you just have to know they put some time in working on it, haven't they?
Practice makes perfect. Worked out well there. Again, it's Carr sliding out of the pocket. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Derek Carr, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
To Vecchio now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Now Carr. Over the middle of Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Carr now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On the handoff, Lynch. Oh, what a juke into space. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Marshawn Lynch, 46 yards. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out How are we going to slow down this running game? Because on that particular play, they had no answer.
To Vecchio now to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up mid will take it now. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. On second down, here's Wentz. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2 two-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
Well, if you do it one bite at a time. Okay. That's the way they've got to play this, one play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye. One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play. What a throw right there for the first down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket, completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
From the red zone now, Wentz. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Wentz will try again on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
On play action, it's Wentz. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No.
And the pressure gets to him again. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, 67 yards. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Screen pass to Sproles. Sproles lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
A nice little juke. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun.
And he's into the clear. He's at the 30, past the 20. And they are going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. Complete. Smith has it. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Wentz now on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
To throw is Wentz. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, there in coverage.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On play action, Wentz into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. Still good. And now off to the races down the right side. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So that one will be accepted. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10.
There we go. Back.
Wentz going to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Finding room to the 20. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number. Moving the ball.